We are here and we are strong. Let's be counted as we move on. Make a difference, change lives as we tell our different stories. We are capable, beautiful. We are born to do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
On this episode, we focus on the issue that matters most, advocacy. Together, let's break down barriers and foster a more inclusive world. Welcome, my name is Jane Theuri.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
The Upili program is tapping on the power of good mental health for the overall growth of learners with disabilities. Take a look.
When we started initially, it wasn't about psychosocial help. It was about the basic needs that special kids would need. Is it a laptop? Is it a screen reader? Is it a wheelchair? All that. But then we got to find out that those are things that are given by different organizations. So we came back, regrouped, focused, and thought of what it really needed at these special schools. And that's when we came up with psychosocial help. We found out that students don't have a self-esteem from way early age. So we thought Upili would do the best at this level. So that's when we introduced the counselors with disabilities to help them, to help the students with disability to just to increase their self-esteem, get to know who they are, understand themselves, be self-aware of their environment, and also themselves, and also the community.
The decision to shift from this noble cause to a more impactful one was as a result of a deep desire to transform the lives of these children completely.
How Next Step and Upili work together is in job readiness. Like I said before, we give them self-esteem tools, or we give them tools that will help them throughout their lives, not just in school, but it's throughout their lives. Because in the beginning, we saw that was the gap when it came to work. So you'd see, yes, they are capable of working, but they don't have that self-esteem to even advocate for themselves. So that's how Upili came in to join now. It's like a path, call it a path. So how now we connect is once the students leave the school, they can come to Next Step, either to be trained or to be there's a job placement.
But then the big question is, why was it important to engage counselors with disabilities in this particular program?
It is a living experience. They have lived the experience itself, how one goes through neglect, goes through rejection, goes all through that. But also we saw it was a way of connecting with the students, because now they have somebody who they feel, you understand me. I don't have to give my story all over and over again like a motivational speaker.
At the end of the day, we usually say experience is the best teacher. So for me now, because I have lived as an able person and a person living with disability, so those two lives are so different. So when I went through this accident, and my life changed. There are so many things I learned that I could not have imagined. Like now, I'm a through hip amputee, through road accident. There's this phantom pain. So I would not imagine that a part that I have lost already could be painful. So if someone could have told me, like, maybe you have lost your leg and you tell me, like, I'm feeling pain in my leg that I have already lost, I would not connect. But now you see, like, the students, they were able to ask such questions, because there was a time they actually waited for me to ask me, Catherine, tell us, do you go through phantom pain? Like, do you go through pain of the part of the leg that you that you actually lost. And I was like, that is phantom pain. Yeah, I even have medication at home that I use. So we were able to connect.
The most rewarding moments happened when the stakeholders saw the children open up.
We started and the students would share their stories. As we proceed, the group therapy would become very emotional, because actually, personally, I never thought that these students are going through such emotional and challenging time. So they would share some of the sensitive issues. They would share different experiences, and now we could, as a counselor, I could come up with ways of encouraging them, talk about the self-love, the self-esteem. You see that these kids are people who have low self-esteem because they are not supported. Some of them are not supported by the family and also the culture. So what we started from is encouraging and improving their self-esteem, self-love, so that at least these children, they can feel better about themselves.
At Upili, it is important that every child grows up in a safe environment, emotionally, physically, and psychologically.
The shield is to keep away the negativity. So the negative side stays on the other end. The positives, they remain with them. So there is no way whatever tools that we have given them will ever be disrupted by whatever they face within either school, outside the school, or even in the future. So what basically Upili does is just make sure we are dealing with the traumas currently, previously, and also in future.
Catherine Njoroge is a clinical psychologist and a lead counselor at Upili. When she landed this job, it felt like an opportunity to give back to the society.
When I was approached and I was told about this, going to school, to be a counselor for the student living with disability, so I was excited because personally I am a person living with disability. And I remember when I was involved in a road accident back then in 2008, I never had that opportunity to interact with people who are living with disability. I never had an opportunity to see people who are like me now living a normal life. So the people who used to encourage me were people who they had no disability. So they would encourage me, but I would feel like, no, I don't think you feel the way I feel. So now, being a counselor, and I have been approached now to go and be a counselor to this student, it was amazing for me, because the journey I had gone through, I was like, if I can do something for a person who is living with disability, a student, a young person, I think I can do it. So it was for me, it was a good opportunity.
She confirms the progress of the children since the inception of the program.
So you teach them how to keep their secrets within themselves. And also when one has a challenge, since you're giving them the tools, if they feel one of them is like pulling back, they are there to support them. So we're also building up a support system for themselves, so that if we are not there, that's given, if it is during the week we're not there, they have somebody they can rely on, or somebody can say, hey, he's falling back, let me go and talk to them. At least we'll be on the same level, even if it's not the level that we want to be, but at least we're somewhere else. So there are changes we saw very early, and there are those we saw by the fifth session. So it was amazing to see how they changed to who they are right now.
Although the initial plan was to provide the children with the counseling services, it later on became clear that there was a need to extend these services to teachers and their families as well.
Transition of now the counselors coming in. So we have the counselors who do the counseling during the specific day that we have. That is on a Saturday. We used to do on a Saturday, or we are doing always on a Saturday, so that we don't interfere with the school. Then we have the teacher training. So when our counselor is not there, the teachers can step in as a counselor for them, just to be the bridge gap between the counselor and the student. And also we have now the parent or the guardian. So we are training all these three people it's like a 360 thing, because we saw if we just cancel the student at that level, there will always be a repercussion of the cycle will continue.
According to the counseling psychologist, it is important for parents to be involved in the lives of their children.
As parents, if you are a father, please support your children. If you are a mother, support your children. And these children who are living with disability, they need more love. Give them more love. Be there to support them. Learn about the disability and how it comes with challenges. Be there to guide your child, because at the end of the day, that child needs support from both parents.
Despite the successful outcome the program has noted so far, there are some considerable challenges as well.
When we got into the school, we didn't know really what we were going to face. It's like you're walking into a bush. You never know what you'll encounter, but we are ready for it because we know some of the challenges, but we don't know the depth of it. So as we interacted with them through the sessions, you would see different people reacting differently. There were those that really didn't open up immediately, but there were those that, like, this is what they needed. They just needed a safe space to talk, and that is what we provided. And immediately, some of them you could see they are talkative, because some of them we learned from the administration they would never talk. So at this point, they have a very safe space with us. They can talk, they can relieve whatever they have within themselves, whether it is an issue at home, it is an issue at school, or even within themselves, that they feel, I've struggled with this for so long, it's time I let it out.
With adequate funding, the team looks forward to bringing on board more participants to benefit from the services.
We found some children who were in their last hope in life, like they were kids who were thinking about suicide. They were kids with no one to talk to because they were abandoned by the family, the community. So they had that moment of sharing with each other, and also they also viewed their colleagues as actually people who have gone through. They would actually relate to their colleagues. So it resulted to a very positive impact.
We take a short break, but we'll be right back with more. Don't go too far.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.